Welcome to the Speakeasy live show. And if you don't know why you're here, it's because, in fact, I am the rarest Pokemon of all. We got some great guests for you here today. We got Dope Magazine joining us. We've got Ease Delivery Service and Program Skate and Sound. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Speakeasy Live Show, the best cannabis education platform you can find on video, on air. We are everywhere. We've got a great program for you today. I'm joined by Medicinal Mike down here on the corner. Yeah. And I've got Jackson from Dope Magazine, of course, the ever-present Benji. All right, so Medicinal Mike, we were out at Chalice Cup last weekend. Boy, was it hot out there.
It was like 173 degrees.
In the shade.
I was complaining that it felt like 178 easy.
Yeah, it was rough, but a great festival.
Hands down, one of the biggest Chalice Cups that I've gotten to see, and I learned a lot too. They had a heavy dose of education there, and that's something that's rare among cannabis events. So it's really happy to see that the Chalice Cup kind of stepped it up and brought that education to a higher level.
And the level of people that were attending was amazing. I mean,
millions.
It was
there were millions
unbelievable.
Of people.
So, and Jackson from Dope Magazine was there.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, how are you? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Dope Magazine covered the event?
Well, I mean, we weren't necessarily there covering the event. We were just one of theirs as a vendor.
Okay.
Talking to people, kind of letting everybody know what's going on with the magazine and where we're at.
Okay. Well, where are you?
Well,
let's tell them first. If you don't know Dope Magazine is one of the #1 cannabis magazines in the country right now today, putting large effects on celebrity activism, on patient activism, on the medical point of view, the recreational, anything you need to know, you can find in Dope Magazine. And Jackson here is one of the heads that actually he does all the work, like the real work for Dope Magazine.
Oh, you're gonna get him fired now.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't tell his bosses that.
Yeah, no, please don't.
How long has Dope Magazine been around?
We've been around for about 5 years. We're in 24 states and 4 countries. Dope stands for defending our plant everywhere, and that's pretty much what we are. We're a group of individuals from college graduates to people who've worked in the industry as growers, helping out from all aspects. So, I mean, we're comprised of a whole bunch of people.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great magazine, by the way. You know, I've actually had an opportunity to read through a few of the last issues, and man, I mean, the articles, the coverage that you guys are doing, it's outstanding. I see you got Whoopi Goldberg on there this month, huh?
Yeah, we're pretty proud about that.
I heard she's going to be in San Diego in a couple weeks.
I know. I hope I get to hang out with her,
August
too.
6th, 7th, and 8th at the Southern California Cannabis Expo.
Well, it's funny you would know that, Mike. I believe you're hosting in some fashion.
Yes, accidentally hosting that thing. So we're
shameless self-promotion here.
Right,
shameless self-promotion.
Check out the .com.
So is Dope Magazine going to have a presence at the San Diego convention?
We will. We'll
Excellent.
be down there 6th, 7th, and 8th, and we'll be out talking to everybody, letting everybody know what we're doing. You know, we don't just defend the plant. We're also defending the companies, the people that are involved. It's a platform for people to come out and talk about what they do, because it's been so hard. I mean, me coming from an industry where I had to live 2 different lives, it's such a great platform for me.
That's awesome. And your background is in photography, or what were you?
Yeah, I mean, sports. I mean, I've been taking photos of athletes. I do, you know, all kinds of different works, but mainly working in sports. But right now my focus is in marijuana.
Okay, so if Medicinal Mike decides to reinvigorate his wrestling career, he should call you?
Yeah.
Or snowboarding.
Yeah, we'll combine the two, exactly.
All right, that's awesome. So your background was in photography, and how did you ever become part of Dope Magazine? What was that, transition like?
Well, I mean, living kind of 2 different lives, having one foot in the door in the sports world, but having one foot in the door in the marijuana industry. You have to keep one quiet because the world looks at you like you're funding your business off of drug money, when in a sense you're just trying to help yourself, further yourself in this world. So it kind of came natural, but.
That's great. You're an extreme athlete yourself. What's your background in the sports world?
I mean, I wouldn't call myself extreme, but we push the envelope. Everything from surfing, skating, snowboarding. I
think that really is the definition of
extreme.
extreme.
Yeah,
we'll
sharks.
go with that,
You could die doing any of those sports. That's extreme.
Agreed. Concur. And so where is Dope Magazine headed? What's the future of Dope Magazine?
Well, we want to be that magazine. We're a lifestyle magazine for one, so we want to be a source for people to talk about what's happening right now. But we also wanted to get out there and defend our plant and defend our patients.
In what way is the magazine doing that? How is it defending the plant?
Well, I think running stories that have integrity, doing our research, talking to people who are out in the world right now, going through what everybody's been going through, trying to defend this plant. So in a lot of ways, by advertising and talking about and putting people in the magazine, we're also standing up for them, putting a platform for them to speak out for themselves.
Great.
How long did it take to get over the stigma of just the title of the magazine, to prove yourselves as a real publication, as a media experts?
I can't speak for the whole magazine, but for myself.
Sure you can.
I mean,
You're Jackson from Dope Magazine.
Duh.
it's every day. We're still doing that. I mean, living in Orange County, it's almost like marijuana's the dirty little secret. Everybody does it, and they sit there with their alcohol or whatever their vices are, and they want to talk down about what it is. And in reality, if it makes you feel good or it helps you in your daily life, I mean, so be it. But it also has all these other health aspects that help people on a daily basis too.
Absolutely.
Giving the cannabis community an intelligent voice and an outlet that's intellectually capturing the audience's attention is well needed. And your magazine definitely does that. Highlighting people getting high is great. There's nothing wrong with it, and it's entertainment. But making that transition over to the intellectual side is important if we're going to capture more of an audience, a more well-rounded audience. So kudos to your magazine and everything you guys are doing to really take that mission statement one step further. How does one find Dope Magazine? Where can you get a subscription?
Right now, the dispensaries have them. We're reaching out to shops, tattoo parlors, other stores. I mean, with it being something that we're delivering with Vice and another company, so they're also trying to help push us into further markets. But again, it's really whoever wants us. I mean, we're free. So if a shop wants us out there and they give us their address, we'll put them on the list and we'll start sending it to them.
And how do they contact you? Via email, website? What's the best way to reach Dope Magazine for distribution?
You could you could look us up on the internet at dopemagazine.com, or you can call the state director.
Okay. Are you going to give out their phone number? You got their cell phone number?
I don't know how much, if she'd like that.
Google.
But yeah.
Better stick with that website.
Okay, yeah, go to the website.
All right. Well, great. Thanks for joining us, Jackson. And we'll get right back after this brief break. And thank you for joining us on the Speakeasy live show, brought to you by CBD Living Water. And welcome back to the Speakeasy live show. We're here with Medicinal Mike and Benji Cooper and our special guest, Ken Meraki from R Extreme Meds Incorporated. Let's give him a round of applause. Welcome to the show, Ken.
Thanks for having me.
All
Appreciate you guys having me aboard.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about what R Extreme Meds is.
Well, we're a California compliant collective, and we are the benefactors, actually, of the ease technology. So for the past year, we have been servicing Orange County and San Diego, and it's been growing pains. It takes a while to work it, but very, very cutting-edge technology, which for old men like me, that's hard to envision, but it's definitely happening.
Right. Well, tell our listeners what Ease is. I know it's a great service, and it's getting rave reviews, but a lot of people are probably not familiar yet with Ease.
Well, I became introduced to Ease about a year ago, and a little bit of a little story. They started 2 years ago up in the Bay Area, had good success, and decided to come down. I was aware of them a little bit only through my daughter. So my connection is this, the founder and CEO of Ease, my contact was he took my daughter to the homecoming back in the day. So
It's a good way to make a connection.
He's still alive. That's fantastic.
And since then, he went up to Frisco, Keith McCarty, and developed this technology. It's one that allows patients to get safe access to their medicine, and we actually have the drivers, and Ease provides the technology and the training. So I'm the operations manager for Orange County.
Is it like Uber for cannabis?
That's kind of what they've taglined themselves, Uber for Cannabis. And, part of the problem with deliveries as we kind of know it is not only the safe access, but timely delivery.
Right, and consistency. And so you make it so that if I have 4 favorite medical marijuana dispensaries that I can only call one person. I call you up over at Ease, and then I say, I would like this from here.
Ease puts our collective menu, our dispensary menu, online and makes an access for patients, and then they order off of online.
Nice.
How does Ease actually protect the consumer? Do they do anything do they do background checks on the drivers?
Oh, sure. They do extensive training for us and do the training of the drivers, best practices, and show them how they actually use the app so that they can deliver in a timely manner. And professionalism is the utmost importance in safe access for the patients.
Is the app itself actually aware of sensitive site issues? Like, is it stay away from 600 feet away from schools and parks?
Yes.
Oh, so it actually has that built in as well.
The app itself geo-tracks the drivers, and then Ease utilizes a technology and customer service to interact with the drivers to make sure that the deliveries are made timely. And if patients should have a question or request, then they fulfill those needs.
It's like Skynet for cannabis.
Exactly.
It's just an aware. Do you feel that it's an exciting job as far as it's scary, or like, hey, this is the greatest thing, I have no worries, as far as it comes to law enforcement and all the weird laws that are flip-flopping around?
Well, Ease is obviously very compliant driven, so they're going and they're working with city ordinance and stuff. In fact, recently we know that some of the Orange County cities have decided to ban medical marijuana deliveries, so we honor those. But in the other cities, especially down in the San Diego area, and the San Diego County has not been as aggressive, and we continue to service those areas. So.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. I know years ago I've had a lot of collective owners that would say, I don't want to get into doing deliveries because there's just not that much demand. People want to come to the store and they want to have access. They want to touch and feel the product. How have you combated that?
I think there's still, a segment of the population that will continue to do that.
Okay.
But I think you're going to find that, especially with the new millennials, they're in tune with the technology and they want that. And our trick now is to try to find out, my generation, how we can get the access, because obviously my time is better spent having the medicine delivered to me.
Are you trying to say you're old? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not.
Day over 25 and I'd be shocked.
Right. But I get it. I understand that. And, there's always been that sense that everybody can drive to a shop. Well, a lot of critically ill people really don't have, they're not ambulatory. So, delivery services really provide a benefit for the truly sick patients out there.
Sure. And not everyone has a caregiver available for them 24/7. So this fulfills that.
Like, if you have an image, like if you're, an attorney or somebody and your medical isn't public, I personally don't want to be seen inside a co-op if I'm trying to audition for something or, something's going. So once I found consistency in a company that I can trust, then I prefer that delivery driver to come down and, help me out at the house. And it's just a quick boom, boom.
Well, and part of the thing that Ease also provides for us is we all hear in sports and stuff, analytics. They're providing the analytics for us. They're telling us where the price points are.
When football's on, definitely want a driver to bring it to me.
So they're helping us in managing our inventory and letting us know, what products and what demographics that we need to serve better. And, we are finding that more of the elderly and alternative uses, CBDs, as you guys know, so popular now. And many of the folks want to have that service provided to them, and Ease is just fulfilling a very, very big void right now for us.
Well, there's a safety issue too. A lot of people, some of the dispensaries are not located in the best areas, and by providing the deliveries,
hood, I believe they call that, Chris, the hood.
Yeah, or not the best areas, but realistically, there is a lot more safety involved when you have someone come into your house in the privacy of your own home. You feel more secure. You're dealing one-on-one with somebody, so I can see that as a benefit. Not only that, I think lawmakers would really embrace this idea, and I'm surprised surprised that more cities haven't, looked towards the delivery model as a way to introduce, medical marijuana into their communities. So it's not like this storefront where they have a lot of foot traffic and things of that nature.
And I think, Chris, you're probably aware of it, the fact that so many of the dispensaries in the cities are just the classic NIMBY, right? They do not want them, and sometimes they're not the best business neighbors. So we're providing a tremendous service, and I think with the data that we show, patients are responding to that because we have a tremendous retention rate as far as...
That's great.
Upwards of 90%, they continue to use the
and
service.
Because of the law, Chris, too, you find if you've ever been, a lot of the co-ops aren't legal, a lot of them, the percentage. So when they do a raid on a co-op, they don't release the patients that are inside. You get to be a whole part of that raid, and when you
the joy of it
with a driver from your home, you don't have to deal with that safety issue as well.
That's right. I mean, it's not in the cities that allow for deliveries. There's no code violation or anything. So I mean, it provides a great service, and I'm actually surprised that hasn't kind of grown more rapidly. And in the future, it definitely will. We'll see that. But we're gonna come up on a break here real soon. So why don't you tell us how we could get a hold of our Extreme Meds Incorporated? Do we find you on the Ease app? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be accessed through Ease. Ease does, all
and that's EAZE, correct?
Easeup.com is the website so that people can order and get all the information there.
Excellent. And before we go into the break, we just wanted to remind everybody that Dope Magazine has their August issue coming up, and our own special guest, Charlie Blair, is going to be featured in that. We got to interview him out at the Chalice Cup.
He's got the big metal mouth.
Check out Dope Magazine in August. Check out our Extreme Meds Incorporated at the Ease Delivery Service app. Thanks for joining us, Ken. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll be right back with more of the Speakeasy Live Show.
A bipartisan group of senators have introduced a bill aimed at easing restrictions and allowing federal agencies to research the medical benefits of cannabis by removing it from the Schedule I classification. The Cannabidiol Research Act would reclassify CBD as a Schedule II drug and require the Justice, Health, and Human Services departments to complete an analysis to determine its medical value. One of the bill's sponsors, California Senator Dianne Feinstein, says, "I strongly believe that more research into the potential medical benefits of marijuana, specifically cannabidiol, a non-psychoactive component of marijuana, is needed. This narrowly focused bill takes a responsible approach by cutting the red tape associated with marijuana research. And while the main focus of the bill is the rescheduling of CBD for research, it also allows for possession of cannabidiol by parents of children with epilepsy."
Well, it's interesting. I just read the DEA is actually dragging their feet even longer on their proposal to reschedule. So, it might be up to Congress to pass something to actually spur that into action. They, gave us a timetable the first half of this year. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is that a lot of the research they're citing right now, the DEA that is a lot of negative research.
Really?
So it almost seems like if they're rushed and they're pushed to make a decision in the near future, I'm getting the impression that they're leaning towards keeping it as Schedule I.
Well, that's where the profit is right there. You can keep the prisons full. You can keep money coming in to all the corporate companies that are running those. You have nonviolent offenders that have been in there for over 20 years for cannabis, and they're making a good profit on them every single day that they're in there.
Are you saying that there's a profit-driven motive for this?
It's definitely possible.
No.
They call us what they call low-hanging fruit. So because cannabis users aren't, we're real easy to catch. You can bring everybody out, bring your machine guns in. Nobody ever pulls a gun. You never hear that there was a cannabis raid and all of a sudden all these growers were firing back and all kinds of gunfire. You never hear about that unless it's in the other categories of what is the Schedule I drugs.
And I can see this happening at least sometime in the near future because GW Pharmaceuticals has been running trials here in the U.S. They're a British-based company, and that's going to have to happen for their products to be...
Sativex is a pharmaceutically owned company, so if you are anti-pharma, make your decisions yourself. I prefer not to use anything run by the devil.
And GW Pharmaceuticals is a strictly cannabis-based pharmaceutical company.
No, they're connected to Bayer or something like that. I've researched that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're watching them. That's what they want you to believe, that they're just cannabis based.
That sect right there.
Yeah, that sect definitely is not Bayer, but that's where your money's going, to pharmaceutical.
Well, there definitely is a financial, benefit to be had by the rescheduling, because obviously the pharma companies can really capitalize on that. But because the technology isn't really there to deliver an effective pill that can recreate the psychoactive effects at this point, that's why it makes a lot of sense to keep it where it is until they can kind of catch up. But, it's hard to do R&D on something when you don't have a schedule.
Why does it have to be in a pill, though? Why can't, like, the little Quadzilla chocolate, why can't I eat that and that be considered my pill because I'm getting the medicine? It's just in a more flavorful way.
Let me ask you a question, and I'll let you do your own research on this and let the listeners go educate themselves. How many times have you taken a Bayer aspirin in a chocolate tab? 0. How many times have you taken a Vicodin in a chocolate tab? 0. How many times have you taken a Percocet in a chocolate tab? 0. How many times you get morphine in a chocolate tab? 0. There's a reason for that.
They haven't made that an option, though. X-Lax has the market cornered. I've eaten bricks and bricks of X-Lax just because I wanted chocolate.
Well, I'll give you a little hint.
I would be such a drug addict. Can you imagine if Vicodin were dipped in chocolate and you get the munchies? It would be over. They'd be
Clearly, there's some benefit to that.
Medical marijuana ruined.
But the reality is it's cheap to produce pills. Yeah, very easy.
And another difference is one is not going to kill you. Potentially.
True.
Those
Unless you have
pharmaceuticals
diabetes.
have the high potential to do that or cause severe damage.
Well, they're murderers. All right. Well, they're not going to sponsor us. Screw the pharmaceuticals. What else you got in the news?
Damn it, there goes. I had Bayer next week. So.
What else in the news?
An initiative to limit the potency of recreational marijuana products in Colorado has been withdrawn. A bill that opponents say would have crippled the state's emerging cannabis industry, push supplies back into the black market, and cause a loss of jobs and tax revenue. Cannabis Business Alliance Executive Director Mark Slow noted in a public statement, in 2012, Colorado residents showed their support of the legal cannabis market by approving Amendment 64, which requires the state to regulate the cannabis industry like alcohol. Proponents of Initiative 139 were misguided. The restrictions would have been similar to only having 3.2% beer available. The industry is thankful that common sense has prevailed. A bill that would have set a THC limit of 16% or less in any cannabis products sold at licensed retail outlets, a percentage that would have reduced access to medicine for cannabis patients who are suffering from debilitating conditions and often require stronger doses. The initiative's restrictions would have banned around 80% of the state's currently legal cannabis products and likely forced most cannabis companies to shut down overnight.
Well, there you go. I mean, the reality is that just because it didn't go through this time, it's going to go through. Once the feds come in and they start taking a real role, an active role in the regulation of the marijuana industry, I can promise you there will be limits on potency. It's absolutely guaranteed. So, whether it's at 16%, that seems really low. Right. But, there's going to be a cap. I mean, you're not going to be buying pure THC crystals over the counter unless you've got some kind of special handling permit.
And if you don't understand how the percentages work with THC, what you probably are accustomed to smoking back in the 70s or 80s, or if you live close to the Mexican border, they bring it in bricks. That's probably a good 13-16% THC.
Hey, there's some good Mexican weed out there.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
A little bit. The stuff that was grown in California.
Yeah. Well, if you come today, what's typically average is you're seeing 23 to 26%. And that's a good indoor hydroponic. When you're getting all the good medicated feeling and you're having a good time too, positive side effects, that's because it's at least 20% or more, which is typically what you need if you're a today's smoker.
No, I'm good with 10%.
All right, 10%. You're going to smoke a Jolly Rancher. Get a headache. What else you got in the news, sir?
Well, despite 130 people having been hospitalized for spice or K2 poisoning this week in New York City,
spice is still around?
It is. I love that stuff.
Some people call it synthetic marijuana, and visits to the ER relating to the drug have seemed to dip overall. Press Secretary for NYC Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Christopher Miller, says that while this week's increase is concerning, it is still a small fraction of the approximately 1,200 cases we saw a year ago. Synthetic cannabinoids were originally developed by researchers researchers and have been used over the past 30 years to study the cannabinoid system. The first illicit use of the compounds was reported by the DEA in November of 2008. And according to the Bureau of Alcohol and Drug Abuse Prevention, Care and Treatment, since January 2015, there have been more than 8,000 hospitalizations related to spice in New York City alone.
Well, time to get rid of spice.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
This stuff here is being labeled as synthetic marijuana, and it's hurting the marijuana industry because people think that, oh, I'm going to, take a drug test tomorrow. I'm in the military, whatever it is, and they're resorting over to this spice stuff. And this has nothing to do with cannabis or marijuana. I mean, it is complete. Like, go smoke some marijuana. And it's out of your system in 7 days if you have high calisthenics and drink a lot of water. But don't try the spice because you'll die. The people are dying. Get a crack habit. If you're going to destroy yourself, do something disgusting and stop associating it with cannabis.
And
And
don't
people
always
that
know
are
what you're getting
oh,
either.
sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I was going to say people that are commenting on the subject really need to stop including marijuana in the description. I mean, call it spice and make sure you point out that it is not marijuana. There's no relationship to marijuana.
Completely synthetic.
It has nothing to do with it. So
I think it's because they're using synthetic cannabinoids and they're spraying it onto some leafy substance. It's kind of just a slang term for it, but it's not marijuana at all. This
There
stuff
you go.
can and will kill certain people.
And it's doing
Yes.
it right now.
there's a
people-
public service
The
announcement.
guy that ate the guy's face, you remember the guy that ate the guy's face? He ran out and he was like, "I'm gonna eat your face," and he ate his face.
I think I
that was
missed that one.
spice. That was spice. Is the zombies are coming from spice. So if you turn into a zombie, it's your own
Spice
fault because
zombies.
you smoked spice. That's true. That's a true story. Go look.
Old Spice
He ate his-
zombies.
Legalized
He ate
cannabis.
his face. So, is that all we got in the news,
Nothing
sir?
like smoking
all we got
potpourri,
tonight.
guys.
Is that all we got in the news, Mr. Benji?
That is.
All right. Well, that is your Speakeasy news with Mr. Benji Cooper.
Yeah.
And we will be back right after these messages from our sponsors. Speakeasy Live Show. Hashtag it.
And welcome back to the Speakeasy Live Show. I'm here with my co-host, Medicinal Mike.
Still
And-
here.
Yeah, he hung around.
I'm
believe it
still
or not.
here.
Hey, we got air conditioning, unlike last week.
And it's fantastic. The Somali effect wasn't working for the first half.
So we are joined now by Program Skate and Sound. The gentlemen are Chris Gronowski with the ugly hat on and Efram Schultz on my right.
What's cracking?
Welcome to the show, guys.
Have we offered him a nicer hat?
Yeah, I was going to give him an Indians hat so he'd have a first place team on his head, but we'll get that for him next week.
Spicy.
So, gentlemen, Efram, tell us what Program Skate and Sound is.
It is a. Well, I guess it sort of started out as almost a collective, and well, now it's just two of us. But it's a skate shop. It's also a mini sort of music venue.
Oh, nice.
We support bands. We have up to 4 shows a week at the shop, in stores, signings.
A record store?
Record store.
Oh, wow.
Team signings for skate teams.
So it's definitely not a marijuana collective. You got to be careful
No,
when
no,
you
no,
use that
no,
word
no,
on
no,
the
not
show.
that kind of collective.
what I
No,
thought, too.
definitely not. But
So it started off as a marijuana collective.
No,
and we
as
evolved.
a sort of a. Well,
Yeah, I got you.
So, and we do art shows. We have in-store signings. We kind of cover all the bases and just try and do everything we love and provide a space where kids can go and have a good time. It's a drug-free environment.
Awesome.
There's no alcohol there.
Great.
But it's gone from this little thing where we'd have a band once in a while to now all these national touring bands are calling us and they want
wow.
to do in-stores, and we have parking lot full of kids that can't even get in the shop and we don't even know what to do.
That's great. That's
yeah,
great.
so it's kind of it's definitely been overwhelming, but it's kind of we're starting to realize our little dream. You know.
Well, speaking of the music industry, you actually have a background in that.
Yes.
You played with the punk band Death by Stereo?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that.
Death by Stereo for 18 years or something.
wow,
I've been
yeah.
That was a quick
I
tour.
haven't slept since the 80s, but to quote Dan Palmer, I've been touring most of my life. I also play in a band called Manic Hispanic.
Okay.
And
Still do? Or?
yeah, still
Okay,
do.
great.
Still do.
Still
And,
playing punk?
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Still playing fast. But yeah, I've just been on the road most of my life. I've worked in the music industry most of my life. I promote shows, book shows. I've worked for a lot of different artists. And somewhere along the way, Chris approached me when he was going to start the new shop, and it just kind of made sense because we wanted to combine skateboarding and music in one place because it's gone hand in hand the whole time.
Right.
So I try and bring as much as I can on the music side to the table, and Chris brings the skate, and design and creative and kind of apparel world to us.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's
You guys
pretty
have
cool.
everything. Is there anything
Yeah.
you don't do?
Marijuana.
Marijuana, yeah, we don't sell weed. Yeah.
We don't sell
So,
weed.
Chris, you're the brains behind the skate side. Tell us about your background in the skate industry.
I worked a little bit in the skate industry, had a shop prior to, but the previous shop was just the typical core skate shop that had, boards, shoes, clothing, things like that. But I felt like it was missing something. And in Orange County, there's a shop like every other block.
Yeah.
And so in 2011, we came up with the idea to combine the two and to have, especially like vinyl is rebirth right now. So
Yes.
a lot of people are buying
yeah.
records.
Yes.
And we grew up collecting records and across.
Unfortunately, Pabst Blue Ribbon has been reborn too, though. That kind of goes
Oh,
hand in
it's
hand.
amazing.
Yeah, well,
I threw you off with that one.
That's a
didn't
good
I?
one.
Very true. We get thrown a lot of free Pabst Blue Ribbon. but,
Actually, we do.
Shout out.
Well, that's about what it
Yeah,
should cost.
shout out to Paps. Thanks.
But we started it, and literally, like, I think we basically formed the store that we would have wanted to go to when we were 18 years old.
That's great.
In terms of the type of I mean, we spent so much money as kids on records.
We started the record section with our own collections.
Oh, that's great.
Right,
Yeah,
That
because we
is
just
cool.
have so much vinyl, like a lot. You know,
I think
please
that's
come in
worth
and pick
some
some
money.
up.
Yeah, right.
I've been dragging them around since I was 12 or whatever. No, but that's how we got it started. Actually, was with our own collections, and
That's
it's just
awesome.
grown. And we started buying out other collections, and
That's
kind of growing
great.
from there.
Well, it's like a community you've created. You've created like this whole atmosphere for people that, if they, kind of like skating, but they love music, what a great place to hang out. If they are passionate about 2 or 3 of those subjects, I mean, that's like home base right there.
But don't come for weed. Don't
Yeah,
come
no
for weed.
weed.
If you're looking
No
for
marijuana.
weed, not the place to go.
There you go.
And if that happens, we're going to need to call you for help, for assistance. Actually, my cousin Angel might need some help. He's in the crowd.
Uh-oh, Angel.
He got caught with a nickel bag in his sock over by
Oh,
Zodi's.
big criminal. Big criminal.
Who's still carrying nickel bags anymore?
My cousin, man. Angel.
Trying to bring it
Angel
back.
Zaragoza. My cousin Angel.
You can
Nickel
tell
bag in the sock.
this is kind of like a throwback show. We're talking about Pabst Blue Ribbon, nickel
Nickels.
bags, Detroit Tigers, thing of the past. I mean, it's all about the past here. But it's great that you guys have created this community. Now it's free for people to come and check out the place, right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, it's free all the time for the shows. Sometimes there's a moderate donation, $5, because most of the shows have a touring band
Oh,
attached
wow,
to it.
that's-
So
So basically free. I mean,
Gas is expensive.
Yeah.
And the kids all pitch in and we just give all the money to the bands, and they have their gas money to get to the next town. Everyone's
that's
stoked.
great.
It's a really cool feeling.
bands have
to
an area to sell T-shirts, to sell records, cassettes, CDs, whatever they want to sell.
oh, that's awesome. So you guys have your own clothing line too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Which
who's
we
doing
have
the
kind
design?
of just started.
We all do it. Clayton, our brand manager, actually also does it as well
Okay.
too, and we sell it through our website as well.
great.
in the
Wow.
store.
What's
which
your
is
website?
programhq.com.
Let's say that again. Come on.
Programhq.com.
And how do you spell program? Is it the traditional, or does it have the ME on the end?
Programme, Programme, the Euro style.
There it is. Okay, so if someone's looking for you on the internet, the best way to find you is go to the website?
Yes,
Absolutely.
sir. And we're on Instagram at Program.
Excellent. And what about the address of the store?
2495 East Chapman Avenue in Fullerton, 92831, right next to Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, no. What a perfect location.
Right off the 57 freeway.
There you go, Titans. There it is. All right. You get a lot of the college kids coming over?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
We actually have a shirt and a hat that says Cal Skate Fullerton.
Oh, nice.
So we haven't been sued for it yet, but that actually is a huge seller. All the students
Yeah.
buy it rather than buying
Right.
their
Can't
own
wait
at the
to get
bookstore.
that cease and desist.
Right. Until such time, you'll continue to blow it up.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's awesome. So Fullerton's a really great city. I mean, they have
Yes.
a lot of art community going on there. They have a lot of great little mom and pop shops around there. And it's nice because a lot of the cities have gone so straight corporate, and
Absolutely.
seeing Fullerton kind of having that old school feel to it, that, little downtown mom and pop shop feel. You picked a perfect location.
It feels like one of the last communities in the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I notice that every time I go up there, it's
Yeah.
like this place feels different. It's not
cool.
Irvine. It's not Mission Viejo.
Right?
It's
It's definitely not Irvine.
No, it's definitely not Irvine. It's got some energy. It's got some life. And
get
having the campus there is great.
Oh, it's fantastic. And we get
Absolutely.
a lot of dads coming in with their kids. They come in and they're trying to introduce their kids and everything that they loved. And then while they're in there, oh, you have this record, crazy, you know. So it's pretty fun.
What's a record, Dad?
yeah, exactly.
Oh, the kids. There are kids that come there for shoes or for skateboards, and they walk over and they're like, "So this is a massive CD." And I'm like, so is this a laser disc?
I one time
That goes in the tape deck.
at a show one time, a kid walks up to the merchandise booth and they picked up one of the LPs and looked at it. What is this? And I'm all, it's a calendar. The kid was like, oh.
I'm sure he believed you, too.
And he just put it down. He's like, just walked away. I'm like, that's great.
Well, man, that was great. Thank you guys so much for coming in and
Thank
joining
you.
us on the
Thank you.
Speakeasy Live Show. We got Chris Gronowski and Efram Schultz, the ex-Death by Stereo and currently Manic Hispanic.
Still Death by Stereo.
Yeah.
Oh, still Death by Stereo. You're doing two bands.
Oh, yeah, we actually we're mixing an EP right now.
Okay,
Death
so
by
this
Stereo.
guy is a real worker. He's got two
DeathByStereo.com.
bands. He's got a shop
Manic
that he's running.
Hispanic.
Anything else?
Babysits, cuts hair.
Saving whales.
I save babies from burning buildings once in a while, you know, and enjoy those nice Speakeasy pens.
Oh, Speakeasy 710, one of
Dude,
our sponsors.
yes, I wanted to mention that because I just got given one, and I can't thank y'all
Allegedly,
enough.
you allegedly were given
Yeah,
one.
Allegedly, no. I just got handed one to try.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, outside somewhere else. But it was awesome, and I just wanted to
Nice.
give props.
Nice. Well, everybody go check
And to
out
the band.
Well, hey, props to the band. I'm not going to cut you off if you're going to give them some love. Hey, all right.
Band.
Hey,
The
look
band.
at that, the band.
Shredders.
Next time you're in, we're going to have you up there with them. We'd love to join them. So thanks. Everybody go check out program Skate and Sound. And you're watching the Speakeasy Live Show with your co-host, Medicinal Mike.
Here, here.
And program
Medicinal
Skate and
Mike.
Sound. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, baby. And thank you for watching the Speakeasy Live Show today with my host, Medicinal Mike. We get
to go home now.
Yeah, we get to go home. We get to end this episode, but it was a pleasure having you. We got a lot of great sponsors to thank. CBD Living Water, of course, keeping us refreshed on the set. Thank the band, the Cartoon Cowboys over there, cutting it up for us. We got Speakeasy 710, of course, and we have the Reserve, the Super Clinic, and Weed Maps, one of our newest and greatest sponsors. Check out Weed Maps.
Number one marijuana locator, legal marijuana locator in the country.
I love the way he says that. It just makes me want to go to Weed Maps.
In the country.
Thanks again for watching us. Check us out next week on the Speakeasy Live Show.
We'll be back.